So we started recording immediately because
Hmm.
holidays are over and Zoom no longer cares about you and your family's
Yeah,
chat.
they don't care. They don't care. They don't care that we're over here just
Very
trying to record a
convenient.
podcast in these difficult times on a free account. They have
Yeah.
no respect for the freeloaders, the grifters like us.
Yeah, we have no
What have
pity
you
for
been
them.
up to, man?
Not much. This looks like I'm drinking lean. I feel really cool right now. Uh,
Yeah.
it's whiskey and buble, which is actually pretty sick.
Ooh, okay.
Cherry bubbly and cinnamon whiskey. That's what I got. That's my concoction of the
Damn,
evening.
that's all right. You know what? I've only drank once since New Year's.
Nice, good for you.
Not for any like I'm gonna be sober in January. Just like I was drinking like all every day for a bit there.
Yeah, I
So I
think
was like,
everyone was for a tad.
yeah, yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll just take a little break. And I was like, I'll stop smoking. Smoke less weed for a bit. So
I, I was thinking about that today. The worst part about all this is basically that, well, not the worst part. I should not say that.
yeah,
But the thing that bugged me a few minutes ago that I had not thought of before was that, like, I I basically am now giving myself it's not even an excuse. It's like a fucking reason. Like there's a global pandemic. It's not an excuse. It's like life is shut the fuck down. Like it's an actual reason. Like who cares? Weed's legal and you're allowed to
yeah,
buy as much as you want. I can't go to the gym, so I'm not going to be in shape. I
yeah,
like eating well is out the fucking window. Like my mental health is gonzo. The US is burning. UFOs are real. Like
yeah.
this
That's the only cool part.
yeah, I'm gonna smoke a little weed. Like I don't even care anymore. I was feeling bad about it for a while. I was feeling bad about my consumption, but I was like, you know what? I don't anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because you're still relatively new.
Well, yeah, I guess not anymore. It's like been a few years now. Legalization was a while ago.
So you've been smoking weed for 2 years. Like lots of people have been smoking weed
I
for way longer
guess.
than that.
Yeah,
I'm
but like
just
I've been
in
smoking
putting
pot
it in
for years.
It's just interesting, man. No, that's cool. Yeah, it's I was starting to drink way more because I was just like, fuck, man, I got all these hours to kill at night with nothing to do.
Yeah, man, and I can't get sleepy. It's impossible to get sleepy when you're
Yeah,
sleeping all the time.
yeah, yeah. That's the quote of the pandemic. It's impossible to get sleepy when you're sleeping all the time.
I know how a cat feels now.
Yeah, no wonder they're so fucking on edge. America's burning. This cats are
Let
all
your
stalking
cat
around.
outside. If you have an indoor cat, fuck you. Let it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh
Dude,
my god.
me and Brad are considering getting a cat. And you know, this is, I've Googled this. Let's get into the Google vibe in a
Mm-hmm.
bit.
Let's do it.
Um, Cats can't die from falling. Like they have a certain height that they will, but it's like
Yeah.
super weird and it's like only very brief. So it's like their terminal velocity isn't enough to kill them.
Huh.
But what happens is they start going fast enough that at one point they freak out and stiffen up. So from like if they fall from like 9 stories to 11 stories, like some weird amount of space like that, I can't remember exactly what it is, they'll die. But then if they're above or below it, they'll be totally fucking fine. They'll just walk away, no problem.
What?
Yeah. So like the reason I found this out originally, because my mom used to tell me
It's
this
because
story
I
at the
kicked a
beginning.
cat off a building.
Yeah, I punted this fucker. Uh, my mom, we had this cat named Diablo, and my mom would tell the story. There is an apartment building that caught on fire that they were living at,
Mm-hmm.
and the cat like jumped off of like the 7th floor or some shit, and was just like totally fine. And my mom was freaking out because she's like, my cat's fucking in there, like oh my god. And then she saw some other lady with the cat, and my mom was like, hey, that's my cat. And the lady was like, no, that's my cat. And my mom was like, okay, does your cat have like any like marks on it or anything, or is it just a black cat? She's like, it's just a black cat. My mom was like, okay, then what is this? And then like lifted up its leg, and my cat had like a weird white spot like underneath.
Oh, and
And so,
what's
but your mom,
this?
yeah. So it's like this funny story that my mom would tell. It's just like a silly anecdote. But I was always like, how the
Seven
fuck?
stories?
What do you mean it jumped off? There's no way. Like, what
Yeah, that's like
were
movie
we
stuntman
actually
stuff.
living on, lady? Like, so I didn't believe the whole story forever. Well, I did not believe it, but like it always like blew my mind that this cat like survived. I thought it was like a superhero cat. Turns out cats just don't give a fuck for most of it.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Like,
it's sick as hell.
it's like that's the most chill you can possibly be, is to be like, I'm gonna jump so far, but I know I'm gonna land and be fine. So
Yeah. So as
see you
long as
guys
you
down
like
there.
have an outdoor cat, if you live, I mean, you got to get it back up somehow, but like you can just
Yeah,
let it like jump off the balcony and shit.
it's fucking crazy, man. I would, ooh. And if I was a cat, I would stay jumping 7 stories every day.
Yeah. But also they're cats. They're like so nimble and shit. Like they'll just jump
Yeah,
off other balconies. Like they'll manage their way down. They're not just
yeah,
gonna flying squirrel it off your goddamn balcony like a lunatic.
that's true. Yeah, you don't want that. I've been thinking about getting a cat too, but I'm not sure. I'm like, I don't know. Fuck. I've been like, I've had my finger on the trigger for a while, but I haven't had the.
Yeah. We've talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah,
We
we
were thinking,
have. And I
you
said I
know,
was gonna do it in the new year, and it's the new year, and I'm like,
yeah, our landlord, I guess, never said no to pets. She just was like, ask me about pets, which
mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I thought it was no pets, but she said no to
Oh,
ferrets.
I like the kind of mystery behind that. Like, ask me about pets.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I like if I was her, I would have a no pet policy, but say that just so people would ask me, and I would be like, it's a no pet policy.
yeah. But thanks for asking.
Yeah, that was nice of you to ask.
Just add a
And then
step,
I would have some obnoxious pet like a peacock or some shit.
something insane.
Yeah,
That's so.
something I shouldn't have, like a tiger.
She was absolutely running amok in the hallways. You're like, no, it's trained.
Yeah,
I
I own the place.
own the place.
The hallways, fucking mine, baby.
So, but you own the house. I own the hallways.
It's like, yeah, there used to be a pool. It's now a tiger pen. We
Jesus.
emptied her out. It's now a tiger pen. Just
Um,
because Frank didn't ask if he could have a cat.
Motherfucker. But no, so we wanted to get a cat and we just had to ask the landlord. But then I like started like realistically like looking and like laying out and like being like, okay, and then we have to get this and we gotta make sure it's fucking spayed or neutered, and then we gotta get the cat bowl, the cat food, we gotta get the litter box, and we gotta make sure we clean that fucking thing. And then we have to put that in some place that isn't carpet or anything. We have to use like ceramic or get a little spot. And then we can't put its food dish anywhere like gross. Like you can't put it in the bathroom. We also can't put it like somewhere where it's gonna spill food all over your fucking, stuff.
That's true.
So
Yeah,
it's
there's
like,
a lot to think. There's a lot of logistics.
yeah, owning a pet is like much harder than I'd ever like given my parents credit for when they said it. It was hard.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
they're like, yeah, tough. I was like, come fuck yourselves.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
and
used to
there's
like
so much. A dog especially is like, oh my God, there's so much you have. I've dog sat for people, and it's just like, wow, this is a whole other life.
Yeah, dude, it's having it's
It's
like a
regimented.
lesser having a kid. Like when people say, I know that
Ah,
like people hate it, but they're like, oh, my fur babies, and like it's not the same, but it's like it's one step below. It's like a very short step below.
yeah,
Your
yeah,
dog can't
yeah.
leave your house for more than 24 hours.
It's something you got to actively take care of.
Yeah, for its whole life,
Yeah.
like so long.
Whereas a cat, apparently, you just sort of put its stuff out and,
Yeah, you have to take care of it once a week for its whole life.
which is like way better.
Yeah, and then it's chill as fuck when you like want a friend. It's like having a roommate that you kind of got to take care of.
Are they like, oh, McDavid just scored again. That's nice. Are they like good, like affectionate animals?
Yeah, if you get a good one, that's the other thing. You got to find a good one. That's hard to.
So,
You gotta know.
okay. So, and I've heard that a lot, but like, how do you find a good one? Because I'm
Yeah,
thinking
well,
you're going to you're going through and especially
yeah.
now with COVID and stuff, you're not going to get to see any of these motherfuckers.
No, you go to the Edmonton Humane Society website.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know what? I stopped going on the websites because I would see one and be like, oh, that's my guy. And then he'd
Okay,
be gone right away.
That's
And I'd
it.
be like,
That's a cool cat. You got to know. Like you just know.
yeah, all right.
And it's like, because you see them, and here's the thing that I've noticed: it's always a cat that doesn't just look like a fucking cat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like every other cat just looks, oh yeah, that's a cute little kitty, like nice cat.
Yeah.
But like anyone that's kind of like making a quirky face in the picture or like sitting fucked up, and you're like, that thing's dope.
Yeah.
That thing's
Yeah.
and I want in.
I want that one.
Yeah, dude. We used to have cats like we talked about this on the podcast.
Yeah. So are you guys gonna do it or what?
I don't. Well, we've been thinking about it. We were gonna go buy all the stuff the other day, but then
Oh,
we got
really?
distracted. Brad had to do his podcast, so
Oh, yes.
living with comedians, everyone's got a pod. You had to do your podcast before this podcast.
That's
and Brad
true.
had to do his
Yeah.
podcast before we did the cat thing, and then
Pods
we're all
on
gonna
pods
listen
on
to Drew's
pods.
podcast, and then after Drew's podcast, we're all gonna listen to Bill Burr's podcast and wonder why the fuck we ever do a podcast in the first place.
Yeah. So you guys were ready to buy all the stuff.
Yeah, we were going out to like. That's the other thing. I was like, how much is it? Because it's also like, and I've always said this about kids. Also, I don't want to be a shit parent. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to not be able to afford to like give my kids some cool shit and like take them on a vacation every now and again and like have that kind of thing. So, like, I don't want to just like bring this cat into like a shithole apartment and have it like stink up the rug and like whatever. So like, I want to plan out and put its stuff where it's supposed to be and get it a scratching post to make sure like, we have a windowsill that is able to see the outside and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. And you're right. It's like having a kid light.
Yeah. Well,
like the no calorie version of having a kid. What?
Huh?
I said it's the
no. Said the same thing, but a different version of it at the same time.
It's because we're two funny motherfuckers.
Did you say it was having a dog light?
No, I said it was like the version of having a kid light. Like the calorie free version of having a kid.
Oh yeah. I was saying having a cat is like the having a dog version of having a kid to having a dog. It's like,
yeah.
Like if you have a cat, you kind of got to take care of it, and the step up from that is to have a dog where you like pretty much got to take care of it all the time.
Yeah.
Step up from that, where you have to like teach it how to take care of its own self later.
Yeah. Exactly. I think like before you can have a kid, you should have to get 2 dogs. Yeah. You should have to get a dog.
You have to have at least a fucking cat.
You should have to get a dog and then have to introduce a second animal. And then if you create just a harmony in your household with
a home and for that family.
Yeah. Then you're ready to have a kid.
Yeah.
Let them put it in you. Yeah. That's the only way. Oh my God.
We solved it.
We just nailed it. Yeah, that's amazing. Man, I was thinking about this today. I haven't put like product or anything in my hair in months, I think at this point. I've just been wearing sweatsuit. I've just been wearing hoodies and shit and and my hair just kind of stays in the same I've been wearing sweats and slippers and oh, there you go. And it's going to be a weird transition back into the working life when this is all over for me. Whoo! Yeah. It's going to be weird, man.
I've been working at the old fucking Lube and Pube, and you can wear sweats.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, they give you a old fucking t-shirt for the fucking place, and then they're like, yeah, just wear black pants and black shoes, non-slip. All right, dope.
Nice. Yeah. That's pretty solid. I don't have to dress up that much for work, but like I've literally been wearing I'm at a point now, like I never in my life before this would like go out in sweats to like the grocery store and like slides. And now I'm like, ugh.
Dude, not only that, but I also get to wear that to work. Like I don't even have to work. Like, so when I now have to go to do comedy, I'm going to be like a button up. What?
Oh man. Sometimes I catch a glimpse of myself at Safeway or something and I'm just like, oh buddy, what you look like a tornado, man.
So I've been keeping my beard. I've been like, that's been my project, honestly. My 2 projects have been this fucking cactus right here.
Ooh. Nice.
And this beard. I've kept these 2 things alive for all of quarantine.
Well, that's pretty good.
I almost killed the cactus.
You can't. I mean, it's tough to kill a cactus, though, right?
Yeah, well, I'm an idiot. So I had a cactus before that I killed because I overwatered it because I'm caring, and I
Sometimes I care too much. I
yeah,
guess. I guess if I had to pick a fault, that's what it would be.
yeah, exactly. You get it. No, honestly, what it was yeah, I got like a bunch of plants at the same time, and I had like a watering schedule kind of
Mhm.
going, and I just like put the cactus in the rotation too often. I just
Yeah.
yeah, so it ended up getting like squishy over time and kind of slopping over.
I've bought a couple of cacti from the Save On, like near my work downtown, like 3 years ago, I guess, and have never watered them once. And they're both still alive on my desk. The one
That's
actually started growing another little tentacle. I was
that's
like,
phenomenal.
I've never touched them. I
That's
never
great.
potted them even. They're still like just in the wrapping paper.
You see that little plastic?
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Survivors, dog.
Survivors. Yeah, it's
I
just
should get
a
some
spirit.
cacti too. I need to. Oh fuck! I've been buying too many plants, man. But I should get some cacti. I got something I could put them. Well, shit. I I've been spending so much money on plants, man. I don't know what's happened to me.
Bro,
I
they're
drink
sweet. They're
I
wicked.
drink I drink fizzy water. I buy plants. I wear slippers.
I like the plants grow. Yeah, bro. I bought new moccasin slippers. They're so nice. They're Canadian
Oh,
made. They're genuine
nice.
leather, and they look like two dudes laughing because they have like little eyes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're like
Slipper
little
game
lace.
strong. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what life's
look,
become,
look
man.
at that. I can show the people. Look at
Oh,
how much like a
oh
guy that's like,
yes.
ha ha ha.
Yeah, that does look like that looks like a French dude being like, ha ha.
Yeah, yeah. I put little eyeballs on it on an Instagram story. It was pretty cute.
It's pretty cute. Oh man. So how about the world burning down?
Buddy, I don't even give a fuck. The UFO documents came out this
I
morning.
dude, I was like, I wonder if my boy Alex has been taking a look. I read that there's some good stuff. That there's some, I don't know, that I read that the documents are hard to read.
Yeah, they're very so. I was at work, unfortunately, but oh man, it's probably not in here anywhere that I can find it quickly. Yeah, no, but basically, I found like a page through a page through a page where
Mm-hmm.
they'd broken it down by like file essentially.
Yeah.
So it was like whatever CO23711, and then it said 2 page like doc or 2 page Excel sheet, 2 page whatever, and then like a brief synopsis of like what it was
Oh,
about. And so
sick.
there was like a whole list of them, and then there was like just a bunch of like unlisted, just like the number or whatever. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
people haven't gotten to them yet, or those ones didn't come with like a synopsis or what. But I
Yeah.
just like quickly looked over that while I was at work, and it was like um yeah, like stuff about like from the 70s about like official reports of UFOs in different places from like military personnel and from government officials and stuff like that.
I heard aliens invented butt stuff here on Earth.
Yeah, well, we all knew that.
Invent? Yeah, well, I mean, we've really taken the torch and ran with
Yeah.
it, I think.
Why do you think eating ass was invented in like 2016? It
That's the
wasn't because it
last
wasn't awesome before then.
that's the last thing that we need before the aliens are like they get it.
Yeah, once we started eating butts, they were like, all right, they're almost ready for
Yeah,
us.
they're almost ready. They're almost ready for the full transition. And I was like, they're almost ready, and then just back into the.
Yeah, just right back. That's why they don't have any noses. That's why they're all
Dude.
their heads are shaped like that. Fits right into a
They-
butt.
Yeah, they breathe out of a different part, so they don't even have to worry about. Don't even have to worry about like smelling a booty, smelling booty hole. Dude, it's obvious that that's why aliens. Oh man, because
That's why they chose male.
aliens made butt stuff mainstream.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, there's a new. I watched. Speaking of, before I don't unrelated, but because it's my life, I found a new alien documentary
Okay.
on Amazon Prime. It's
Oh,
called like Absolutely True Story of Travis or some shit like that.
okay.
And it's some dude who like they're all from the States, and it was like a long time ago, and they were teenagers, and they were out like logging or some bullshit. And then they saw this bright light in the forest, so they pulled up and they all see a UFO. And their one buddy fucking dips out to the UFO. And then as he's like gets to it, he's like, "What the fuck am I doing?" So he like runs, starts to run away, and it fucking beams him up, and he fucking beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
And he fucking drops down limp, and all the boys are like, "Oh yeah, let's leave." So they fucking hop back in the truck and dip out. And then the guy driving, they were like arguing apparently. And the guy driving the truck was like, "Fuck you guys, we're going back for him." They go back. He's not there. They go back to the town. Everyone's like, "You fucking killed him. Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you clearly killed this man." All
Oh,
of a sudden,
damn.
he shows up 5 days later and he's like, "Yo, I was abducted by aliens. Someone help me." And everyone's like, "Wait, what? That's real?"
Huh.
Just showed up later, 5 days later, and he thought it was like 2 hours. And he was like, "Yeah, I got abducted by aliens. And then I woke up on a table, and then I chased them like into a room. And then this man, like a human man, came and took me back to this other place, put me on a table, and then I woke up in the streets." And they're like, "It's 5 days later, and everyone thinks your friends murdered you. They're on trial right now."
Is it like a true story?
Yeah, it's this fucking thing from the States. Like all the dudes are interviewed in it. Like
Oh,
it's crazy.
damn. That's wild.
And
Yo,
then, so did I tell you about the other one that took a weird twist?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, so there's one that I watched called "But Did They" or "And Did They Listen" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this a Dutch guy or Belgian or some European. I forget because I'm dumb, but he's from Europe somewhere. And so the guy who's doing the documentary in English is like this guy's lawyer or some shit like that. And he's clearly like set this up so that he's like hired an actress to play an
Oh,
interviewer to ask him questions.
yeah, yeah.
And so he like is explaining all this stuff, and he's talking about like these aliens, but they're not aliens, like they're human beings, but they're from another planet that's like more advanced than ours, and they can't see into the future, but they can like kind of look at events and see how things are going and stuff. And like they're telling this one guy about it because they're like, "Well, humans aren't ready, but like we should try and fucking guide them a little bit." So he's telling this guy about it, and this dude is like traveling around the world being like a monk and shit, and he lost an arm, and like all of it's really weird. And yeah, I think I texted you while I was watching
Yeah.
it. Like,
Yeah.
2020, there's gonna be a fucking yeah. So I watched it, and then at the end of it, there was this fucking like anti-Islam message, like at the very end, and then like partway through, yeah, he started talking about how like that your spirit, once you die, your spirit like goes, and then you can come back, and like his spirit was like a whole bunch of people, but it's the same spirit that Muhammad and Jesus were. So it's been like a nobody a bunch of times, but it was Jesus, and then it was also Muhammad. And then now he's this other new guy, but he's not spewing religion. He's just spewing science. He'd be like, "I don't want you to look at any religion. Like, don't believe me. Like, just literally look at like molecules and physics and shit. But also, I'm Jesus." And then here's a bunch of predictions. And then at the end, he's like, "Oh, and by the way, Islam is the devil," or some shit.
Oh my God.
And like, it's fucking bananas.
That
But
sounds insane.
yeah, the way the way Travis describes the human man who like takes him back to the fucking like down to the fucking place and beams him back to Earth
Yeah.
sounds like the like human guys that this guy is talking about that are telling him all the shit like, "Hey, we're humans from like a different time, and like our people went and like killed a bunch of other planets and shit, and like we realize now that that was colonization and it was a mistake, it was bad, and we shouldn't colonize, and like we're trying to help you." And then
Yeah.
those humans, the way he like described them and their outfits and like what they and like his drawings of them and shit looked like what the Travis guy was describing. And I was like, "Yo, so what the fuck now?" Because he also said there is gray-headed weird fuckers on there. So like, which is what fucking
With no noses so they can eat booty.
Yeah, I just want to clap alien cheeks. Honestly, that's a great Area 51, baby.
Oh, that's how it starts, man. Dude, there's a show on Amazon Prime.
Like, you clap alien cheeks because they're humans, apparently.
Yeah. There's a show on speaking of this isn't a crazy this is a crazy for a totally different reason. There's a show on Amazon Prime called Documental, and
Yeah.
it's a Japanese show. You have to put on the English subtitles, but the premise no, the premise of the show is like 10 comedians get an invitation to this competition where no one can laugh, so they're just in a room together, and there's a crowd watching and like a judge watching, and like they get a yellow card, an orange card, and a red card, and they're out, and the winner gets like $100,000 or something like that. So it's like
Yeah.
all these guys, all these like well-known Japanese comics, all just kind of in a room together, just fucking with each other and like trying not to laugh, and just watching somebody try and hold in laughter is so funny.
Yeah,
But
dude,
it's like
it's the funniest in the world.
it's a crazy show. You should watch like you should watch a couple episodes, but start on episode 2, because that's like when like the actual competition part of it starts. But it's just like a bunch
Okay,
of
you
guys.
have to text me the name of it because I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna.
yeah. But
Also, here's the thing. I didn't mean that. Like I always say that when people are like, "Oh yeah, it's like what the fuck, Pan's Labyrinth or whatever." They're like, "Yeah, it's Spanish, so you have to have subtitles." I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it, and people are like, "No, just give it." I'm like, no, it's not that I don't like it or whatever. I'm just too
yeah,
stupid to both read and pay attention to a movie at the
yeah.
same time.
See,
Like I
this is
can't.
just a bunch of people like
I
sitting in
can't
a
do it.
room trying to rip on each other and trying to make each other laugh. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
that
like
sounds entertaining. Just
there's
as like
enough
a
subtitles so you like get, you get an idea of what's going on.
yeah, I can just glance down and kind of figure out.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Sometimes it's hard when like the whole thing, when it's just like a very in-depth story and you're just like, what? Just
Yeah,
reading,
like
reading, reading.
can I just have this in book form instead? So I don't have to read this so fucking
Yeah.
fast.
So yeah,
And
instead of reading the book, you're watching the movie, but it has subtitles. So you're reading the movie adaptation of the book
yeah, you're literally writing
with
you're reading the
pictures.
cold notes. You're just reading the quick
Yeah.
read version without any of the detail.
Yeah.
That's all you're fucking doing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like just read the cold notes. Don't watch Pan's Labyrinth, you idiots.
Dude, there's another show on Amazon that's super crazy. It's like a drama. It's called The Expanse. Have you ever watched that?
No.
It's about like space colonies and shit.
Ooh.
It's so I watched my dad got me watching it, and I don't usually like binge shows because I just like don't have the like attention span to sit there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I've sat there and like fired through a couple seasons of this show because it's so good. It's
Nice.
like Earth versus Mars versus the belt, which is like that all these people living in the asteroid belt, they're like seen as like the low class whatever.
That's
Mars
so
hates Earth because they left Earth to colonize Mars.
yeah.
And there's like a fucking not a world war. There's like a galactic war going on between all. It's crazy, man.
Okay, send me that one too. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Have you watched? I watched
Smoke
like
some
all
weed.
the. Oh
Smoke
man,
some weed. Watch that show. Whew.
man, I've watched so many of the like sitcoms that are new that I never gave a chance before,
Oh
and
yeah.
like some of them are actually good. You're a Space Force, I think it's called the
Hmm.
one with
I know what you're talking
Steve
about. Yeah.
Carell.
Yeah. I never watched it. Is it good?
That one's funny, and then The Good Place is really funny.
I've seen a bit of that. I never like fully got into it, but yeah, that's another
Okay,
good one.
I wonder if what happened to you happened to me and my mom about The Good Place.
Okay.
So both of us watched like 3 episodes
Hmm.
and we are like, this is stupid. Like, this is going to get drawn out. This is going to get so played out. Like, this is going to happen. Like, it's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
so predictable. But basically, like, if you keep watching, you just keep thinking that and then you keep being wrong. And you're like,
Oh.
oh, fuck, this is actually unbelievable. Like, this
Oh.
is crazy good.
Huh.
So, but it took like almost 2 seasons to realize how good all the other episodes were because
Uh.
you got tricked into thinking you knew what was going on.
Right.
And then
Hmm.
you look back and it's like a Tarantino movie. It's like you almost have to watch the end of the movie before you get the first half of the movie.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I'll give it another shot because yeah, I remember thinking it's good, but like I wasn't like hooked.
Yeah, literally the reason I went back and watched it, I read what the hell was it? It was some article or something, and it said that it had like the best ending of any like TV series of the last decade or something like that. And I was like, there's no fucking way. And then I started like looking at other articles, and there was like a bunch that were like, yeah, this is unbelievable. Like it's so good, it's so well
Hmm.
done, like all makes sense, it's good, it's not too much, it's not too little. Like, and so I was finally like, okay, I'll give it another shot, and like hooked.
Hmm.
The
Damn.
the whole thing. It was great.
Well, I
They
mean,
might be
with
overhyping it a little because like the articles were obviously meant to fucking sell it, but I thought it was dope as fuck.
yeah. Well, not now that we're in like a period of like not really being able to do stuff, it's like
Yeah.
really important to find things to fill that time. Cause I was just
Yeah.
like some nights it's just like, oh my God, what time is it? Like it's 6. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I have like
Oh,
four
no,
hours
literally.
before I can reasonably go to bed.
Yeah. Like it's so hard to get sleepy if you're sleeping all
Yeah.
the time. It's so hard.
It's so hard.
That's what she said. Okay.
We're at about half an hour now, so I think we got a bit of time left, which is nice.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about? I know there's more stuff, but I'm too stupid to remember.
I I've been watching hockey now that's back on, which is sick.
Yeah, I've been watching highlights.
But I bought Sportsnet for the year, so I've been seeing commercials again for the for the first time in a while, and like
Yeah.
shit cracks me up, man. Like every second commercial break, and then there's like some investment commercial where it's like two guys like our age, like one guy's like showing his friend his new place, and he's like, "Hey, sick place, man."
You're still investing
And
with
then
your own.
yeah, and then like they have a quick little exchange, and then they have like a serious bro moment about like, man, it's time to start investing.
Yeah.
And it's just like no one, and the friend look, and it's they like leave it on like a tense moment where the friend's just looking back, like it's like no one has these conversations. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, nice
Who
place,
in
dude. You could afford a down payment if you started investing with Quest Trade.
Yeah, if anyone starts talking to you like that, they're trying to get you in a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be
Like,
like, what is Quest Trade? How many people do I have to sign up?
yeah.
Like,
Great and well, simple shit are actually good apps, but like, stop looking like a pyramid schemes, guys.
yeah. But I just love this like they obviously think this like hits home for bros, where they're
Mhm.
like you and me sitting down and me being like, Alex, man, all you got to do is start investing in your RRSPs and you could have all this.
It really
You're like,
feels like
what the fuck?
the suits hired a guy to write a commercial for sports guys,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was like you missed all. None of this is right.
yeah. I know. I love like the serious moment. Like,
Yeah,
what are you
bro.
waiting for? Why aren't you on Quest Trade, man?
So funny.
It's so
Yo, that's
easy,
what
dude.
this pandemic has brought to light for me is how horrible some other people are with their money.
Yeah,
Like what
yeah,
I'm learning, bro, some people I had no idea that like student loans, people were just roaming around with like $80,000 in debt. And then like they're still just like buying BMWs at like 12%. It's like, yo, what are
yeah,
you doing? Like, I don't
yeah.
know.
Like how? I
Yeah,
know
I know.
it's
Like
not a
what?
good setup.
Yeah, bro. Like I owed 2 G's on a credit card and I lost sleep like over it.
Yeah, and there's people
Or
out
going
there.
like almost like 100 and some thousand dollars. Like you'd never think that your job is ever gonna get lost or you're ever gonna get hurt or like anything
Oh
is
man,
ever.
I know it's insane. It's insane, and like and it's everywhere. I'm always astounded when someone is like, oh yeah, I have like you have like 50, 80 G's in debt, and I'm just like, holy shit, where do you even start? I would be
Yeah,
losing
like
all the sleep over that.
yeah, like what do you even do at that point?
I
Like
mean,
how
I'm
are you?
lucky to not have had that, uh, had to take out loans or whatever, but like,
Yeah, and
fuck.
that's the thing. Like I'm not blaming the people who have the loans. Like I'm blaming the system for like allowing the loans to exist in a world where you can't pay them back.
In the US, it's 5 times
Oh,
that.
it's true, and like their
Maybe not
wages
five
are
times.
way less in
Yeah.
some.
But like an absolute. I would feel so bad if I was paying all that money for school right now and just doing it in my home. Oh,
Bro. I was talking to Drew about that because he's in school right now doing
mhm.
his like broadcasting or something, and he was saying like, yeah, he's been doing it all from home. I was like, yo, that sucks. Like part of the best part, or like some of the best parts of like post-secondary specifically, is getting to go to those labs where they have like the newest and most high-tech,
Mhm.
up-to-date like stuff. And like because it's an education facility, there's not like stupid Dave who spilled fucking coffee on the keyboard. It's like everything is pristine and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
messed
yeah.
up and like they have to follow certain standards and safety protocols. So you actually get to use the equipment the way it's supposed to be used and all this stuff. But I just sitting at home like doing the fucking dumbed down version of that on fucking Apple fucking iHome or whatever. Like
Yeah. I
fucking
know. I would be
bucks.
pissed off, but
Like what? And then you're still paying the same amount of money? Like,
yeah, that's bullshit.
but then
You
I
should.
also understand the other end. It's like, okay, well, the only reason we have all this pristine shit is because we've been charging people all this money all this time, but
Yeah,
it didn't
I know.
here. It's here. We're
It's
just
a
not allowed to use
fucking
it.
Hakuna Matata circle of life kind of thing.
Yeah, bro. The opposite of Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata means no worries for the rest of your days. This means pretty
Yeah,
much all work for the rest of your
yeah,
days.
but then that made sense probably. Still.
Yeah. But also Hakuna Matata. At the end of the day, Hakuna Matata, bro, whatever. Pay for your college, have your debts. Who gives a shit? If you die, it goes to your kids. And if they die, it goes to their kids. Whatever. It's an endless cycle of fucking debt. Get a house on the
Yeah.
bank. I don't give a
Hey,
fuck.
guess what? Don't have kids? You fucking it's gone.
Yeah, just end cycle here, baby.
Yeah. Get a bunch of debt, say
Cat.
fuck it, and
Get a bunch
then
of debt, get a cat, say fuck it.
get a bunch of debt and say fuck it. That's the all day breakfast financial section. Get a bunch of debt and say
Which is
fuck it.
hilarious. It's not how we live our lives at all. Like that is not the advice we heed personally.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Do
think
that.
you should we think you should try that though.
Yeah,
We
it
think
looks fun. It looks fun from
yeah.
here.
Yeah, it looks great, but
I
ah,
would love a Lexus.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure I could convince a bank to give me one, but I don't think I would
That's the
ever.
thing. Banks are like twist my rubber arm and you're like, "Okay." Boop.
Yeah, I remember one of my buddies got like he ended up getting out of it, which is good. He like fucking smartened up pretty good, but he got I don't know the whole story, but it kind of seemed from the outside that he got like schemed into one of those like, oh, we'll trade you back for a lease on a brand new at like this percent, so your payments will go
Oh.
down, but you have a newer car. Then at the end of the lease, you either have to pay it back or finance the now old car at like double the payments that you were paying, and it's like all fucked up. Or
Oh
like
my
you have to
god.
sell it back, but then once you sell it back, you still owe on the loan that you originally took because of the depreciation of the vehicle. So it's like you just owe the money for having used their car for several years, but it's more money than the car is now worth to sell back to them. So what they do is they just go,
Yeah.
okay, well, we'll just increase that debt by another like 8 grand and then give you another new car for the next 4 fucking years.
Man, that sounds like a
And it's
bad
like,
cycle to get caught up in.
but like that's all like a fucking lease is. And then people are like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
my lease is like 86 bucks a month. And you're like, yeah, but you're either gonna be stuck fucking leasing for the rest of your life and never actually own a vehicle, or you're gonna have to pay them way more money than you ever should have to pay for the vehicle that you're driving.
Yeah.
And you pay fucking interest. Most of your payments are just going to interest. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're
that's
just
brutal.
fucking compounding debt for the whole fucking country, you nitwits.
All right, so maybe we should revise our financial advice.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you drive BMW the whole fucking time. So fuck it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. We're all in so much debt anyway. Like the national debt counter, have you seen that thing? It just continuously goes
Oh
up
yeah.
into the negatives of billions of dollars. And no, who do we owe it to? We're the only
I
people.
know
We
it's
all
fun.
owe it.
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you even?
it's funny.
What are
Getting
we, the
chased up by
Space
the
Force?
city. The city's chasing up the province. The province is chasing up the feds. The feds are like, "Hey, where's the fucking IMF? What's going on here?"
Yeah, bro. Then the IMF is fucking charging ridiculous rates. So they're looking back at the old countries that used to give loans to, like, hey, you owe us money. They're like, our GDP is fucking gonzo since 2008. You fucking idiots. We're Greece. And they're like, okay, so we don't have money coming in anymore. And then the US is like, but why? And it's like, how do you not understand this is all fucked?
Yeah.
So all you can do is get the fucking diesel and go for a rip, I guess.
Yeah.
On the Who cares? It's all coming crashing down in the next couple decades, anyways. They're open coal mining in the fucking foothills.
All right. Well, that's been 40 minutes. I don't know. It's like it's still going. I don't know if that means like we're just not, this part's not going to be included, but
That's funny.
it says it's still
I'm
recording.
sorry if that's the way it ends. If not, sorry. Have a great day. Hakuna Matata. I didn't mean any of that.